Hello, I'm Eric Roby.
And I'm Carla Schaefer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll chat with John Williams, the face behind breaking news and events on Facebook, and we'll preview the Pasadena tree lighting ceremony. But first, making headlines around the county, we want to say a special hello to those of you who are watching us on Facebook today. The page debuted 2 weeks ago and we're approaching 300 fans. We hope you enjoy this new way to keep up to date on all the news from around your county. Now it's easier to watch Week in Review on your computer, BlackBerry, iPhone, Droid, or whatever mobile device you use. Once you're a fan of the page, you will also receive regular updates about an upcoming event or an important public meeting. Take a look around the page. In our photos section, you can look behind the scenes as we taped a recent episode. On the left-hand side of the page, you can find a list of other Facebook pages run by the county about police, fire, recycling, recreation, schools, and more. The Week in Review page can really tie together all of the pages you follow, including the Annapolis Facebook site and the Anne Arundel Breaking News and Events site. The difference is that we bring you the sights and sounds in living color. Each week we'll interview someone you want to know about from your county, and we'll bring you news that is only about your county. We're easy to find at www.facebook.com/ArundelTV. Please be sure to tell all your friends about us.
Well, I tell you, Carla, I feel kind of different this week. I mean, usually I'm fine with being on TV, and I'll go to the grocery store and somebody will say, hey, don't I know you from the Comcast, the county TV show? I'm like, great, I'm glad I put you to bed with that every night. But now people in China can see us.
Yes, people anywhere, anytime.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Well, turning to local news, one of our 2 hospitals has recently become a bigger player in the fight against cancer. Baltimore Washington Medical Center just completed a $5.6 million, 2,900 square foot expansion of its Tate Cancer Center. We highlighted this in our community spotlight a few weeks ago. A big chunk of the cost is a machine called a Trilogy system used in radiation treatment. The machine can treat tumors with high doses of radiation in pinpoint accuracy. If you'd like to learn more about the Trilogy system or the hospital's expansion, you can visit their website at www.mybwmc.org or call 410-553-8100.
Well, every year the holiday season brings a lot of joy and sometimes some sadness. Hundreds of people held vigils in Severn and Glen Burnie to remember 2 teenage boys who died in tragic car accidents. 19-year-old Jeffrey Ryan Giles of Linthicum and 18-year-old Jonathan Lloyd Deckman were killed in a crash in Howard County that seriously injured the driver Dale Audette II and 2 passengers. According to the Maryland Gazette, friends and family remembered the boys fondly as people who were charitable, outgoing, and loved. Donations can be made in either teen's name to Living Water International at P.O. Box 35496, Houston, Texas. The zip code is 77235-5496, or at www.water.cc. Howard County Police are still investigating the incident, but they say speed played a factor. Neither boy was wearing a seatbelt.
Well, Carla, you hear about these tragic car accidents. Every year we hear about them, and just this year, folks, we've had quite a few of these teenage deaths that have occurred on our roadways. You had Kara Michichi, the young girl hit by a car leaving the Early Heights Carnival this summer, and Kaylee Austin, the cheerleader from Chesapeake, who crashed into an abandoned house on Mountain Road where speed was supposedly a factor and the roads were also dangerously wet. It really makes all of us wonder what more we can do. You can try to teach them to be careful and to drive safely, but these tragedies continue to happen. Our thoughts and prayers go out to these families of the children.
Well, there's more Week in Review to come. Take a look at the community calendar for what's happening around the county. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's cold and flu season, and the last thing you want is to be sick or make others sick. So here's what you do to stop germs and stay healthy. Cover your coughs. Wash your hands after sneezing, coughing, or blowing your nose. Wash with warm water and soap for 20 seconds, and then dry. When you can't wash your hands, use an alcohol-based sanitizer. If you do get sick, stay home. Stop germs, stay healthy.
And welcome back, folks. Well, in this age of technology, in this age of wanting information as fast as humanly possible, we've got a fabulous website to tell you about. John Williams, co-founder of just Breaking News and Events for Anne Arundel County. Folks, if you haven't been to this website, it's on Facebook. We're going to tell you all about it. John, you guys started this back in January, and it has just exploded since then. Tell us a little bit about where the idea came from and what this site's all about.
My friend and partner, Brian, me and him were always posting an accident or a good fire we had seen. And somebody had said to him, you know, you should make a page for that, kind of as a joke. And he did, and we started putting pictures up. And within 2 weeks, I think we were at almost 4,000 fans. We were like, okay, so we found a couple other people that, scanner junkies and stuff, that wanted to help out. Got an admin team together, 7, 8 people, to kind of keep it going all the time, because both of us, of course, work full-time jobs.
Sure.
And just over the last 10 months, it's steamrolled into 25,000 people following the page. I think a big thing that really helped their page out was like when the earthquake and the storms all happened, we had information before anybody.
Right.
We were actually helping out, like Bob Mosier from the public schools. Their server was down.
Yeah.
Bob actually contacted us and said, can you get the information out there?
Yeah.
You have a better chance at getting it
Yeah.
to people than we do. So ever since then, we're adding, 300 to 500 people a week.
Well, John, I just kind of find it absolutely amazing. Folks, if you haven't been to Facebook, to Anne Arundel County Breaking News and Events, take a look at the page. You can find just about anything. As soon as something happens, if you're driving home from work on Ritchie Highway or Route 100 and a tree falls across the road, Anne Arundel County Breaking News and Events is going to have that on the site in 2 minutes. And it's because of everybody that follows it. It's people that are actually sharing with the world what's going on out there.
Well, that's what we try to tell people. It's nothing we did. All we did was kind of facilitate and get all the people together in one spot. And since then, that's what we always tell everybody. It's, you're the readers of the page that actually make it what it is. I mean, we try to moderate and stop everybody seems to be a tough guy sometimes behind a keyboard, so.
Yeah, how do you obtain most of your information? I went on the page the other day, and like Eric said, it seemed as though a lot of information was coming from the citizens themselves who said, there's an accident on Mountain Road, steer clear of it.
25,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've realized that most of it is Northern County, but I mean, that's where our population center is anyway, and that's where most of the events occur. We've been working recently trying to get a little more South County because we've actually got a couple emails from people. How come you don't have anything about Deal? Well, nothing ever happens in Deal.
Well, that's a good thing sometimes. John, where do you guys go from here? I mean, you talked about the earthquake happened, the hurricane, the tropical storm came through, and you guys just ballooned. I mean, I saw the article in the Gazette about how popular the page was. Where are you going from here? You guys have captured a lot of attention. You've captured a niche in this market.
Well, we've actually bought the website domain, AnneArundelBreakingNews.com, and we are hiring some freelance reporters and writers, and we think we're going to make it an online news page.
That's great.
Now, we're still going to leave the Facebook up for the break-in stuff as it happens.
Sure.
But we want to be able to help. We really like helping out nonprofits. Somebody's having an event to do some good. We try to get them all the attention we can.
Sure.
There isn't enough of that out there. Most people don't know. People like ride by Lakeshore Fire Hall. They're doing their pit beef sale. Most people would have no clue. So we would put it up. They get an extra, 20, 50 people stop by. Well, it's an extra $500 for the fire hall. So that's what we really want to try to help out the nonprofits as much as we can.
Are there any other local events coming up that we should know about, nonprofits or?
Well, I'm on the committee for the Pasadena tree lighting.
Yeah, that's right.
Next Wednesday at 7, Brumwell's Flea Market.
That's right.
So that's December 7th at 7. We're doing that through the Pasadena Business Association as well. We're trying to raise some money for the Child's Christmas Fund. There's a lot of need out there this year.
Yeah.
So anything anybody can bring out that day to help out would be awesome.
Yep.
That's a totally free event. We're doing pictures with Santa, for the kids. The firehouse will be there with some apparatus for the kids to look at. Face painting, a couple choirs are coming to do Christmas songs and stuff for us.
Always a big event. I know we covered it last year. We'll probably be out there again to cover it again for Week in Review. Always great to see the tree go up and the tree be lit there. Well, I tell you, I just gotta end with one thing, John. You just look at technology and how much it's advanced. A page like this, there's so many things that happen in Anne Arundel County. Is there one thing, not to put you on the spot here, but is there one thing that someone has posted on there, an event that's happened, that has just kind of taken on a life of its own, I guess?
Whenever there's a crime in Glen Burnie, there is a real quick reaction for some folks to blame the light rail.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because you end up finding out it was somebody that lived in the neighborhood to begin with.
Right.
And you almost want to laugh at the people that posted the light rail. It's like, at least if a person had a Baltimore address, then maybe you could say yes, the light rail. But just people are so quick to blame the light rail.
Absolutely. Well, John, thank you for all that you and Brian McDivick did to put this together. I think it's been a great service, a great tool for the citizens of Anne Arundel County. Definitely help you get around accidents, find out what's going on in your neighborhood instead of, a lot of people sometimes they hear something going on, they want to call the police, they want to call the paper. A lot of times all you got to do, check out Anne Arundel County Breaking News and Events, and they've probably got exactly what happened there. So check them out on Facebook, www.facebook.com. Check out Anne Arundel Breaking News and Events. John, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Great work.
Thank you.
Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break and check out Facebook while we look at these commercials. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My pot of gold, your daddy's little girl, till heaven home.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. On November 28, 2011, at approximately 10:30 p.m., officers from the Eastern District's PACT Unit and Platoon 2 executed a search and seizure warrant to the Stony Creek passenger service located at 1215 Riverside Drive in Stony Beach, targeting complaints of drug activity at the business. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with further details on the investigation. Justin.
Thanks, Eric. Well, once detectives began searching the property, they recovered approximately $800 worth of suspected crack cocaine, also digital scales and packaging materials. Approximately $3,100 in U.S. currency was also recovered. Now, the owners of that business, 67-year-old Kenneth Eugene Meadows and 65-year-old Catherine Marie Meadows, both of 1215 Riverside Drive in Stony Beach, they were arrested and charged with possession of CDS cocaine, also with possession with intent to distribute CDS cocaine, along with possession of CDS paraphernalia. We're going to move on now to our second incident. That one actually took place on November 29th around 12:29 in the afternoon. That's when an officer from the Western District was on routine patrol. That's when he observed a male subject walking around a construction site in the area of Wall Chapel Road and Seneca Drive in Odenton. The construction site was closed due to the rain. The officers then observed a silver Chevy Cavalier that was parked next to construction equipment. That officer approached the male subject, who advised that he worked at the site and was simply checking on that equipment. Now, the officer was given permission to check the vehicle, being aware that there were thefts in the area there, and he observed a second individual that was seated in the passenger seat of that vehicle. The officer checked the vehicle and located two baggies inside, one containing a large clump of suspected marijuana and the second baggie containing 8 smaller baggies, also of suspected marijuana. That marijuana was packaged for distribution purposes. Both suspects were subsequently placed under arrest. It was also later determined that the suspect did not work for the company and was not there to check on the equipment. Additionally, $4,320 in cash was also seized from one suspect. Both of the suspects on scene were charged with various drug-related offenses. Suspect number 1 is Roger Douglas Latham, age 29, of 808 Bent Willow Drive in Glen Burnie. Suspect number 2, his brother, William Keith Latham, age 39, of 6346 Beachfield Road in Brooklyn Park, Maryland. Now, folks, as always, if you have any information on any crimes or suspects we mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free, at number 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Or you could text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. Third option, visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. As always, remember, phone calls are not recorded. Callers remain anonymous. You might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Justin.
Well, if you want to be heard on proposed zoning changes in Glen Burnie and Pasadena, your time is running out. This week, the County Council will hold a final public hearing and vote on legislation that will change the zoning on scores of properties located in Council Districts 2, 3, and 5. There are too many proposals to get into all of them here, but you can go online to www.aacounty.org and click on County Council and pending legislation to view them. Two particular requests have become the most controversial. The first was a request to upzone Brumwell's Flea Market on Mountain Road to C3 use, allowing for a big box store. After a lot of debate, that proposal was never formally introduced before the council, so the zoning at Brumwell's will remain the same. The second request is to upzone property on Long Hill Road in Pasadena from R1, which allows 1 dwelling per acre, to R15, which allows up to 15 dwellings per acre. This request is set for approval by the council. This one's more complicated, but it has neighbors up in arms. County Executive Leopold visited the community personally and spoke to the residents. He agreed with them that the upzoning would pose a traffic problem for the Mountain Road corridor and introduced an amendment that would keep the zoning of the property the same. The council then rejected that amendment by a 3-3 vote. Monday's meeting will have a vote on the entire piece of legislation, which includes numerous amendments. If approved, the county executive would have to decide whether to veto the entire bill and start over, or to veto parts of the bill. Got all that, Eric?
It's a legislative process.
It is.
I know it well.
I know you do. County Executive Leopold said of the legislation, "Throughout our entire comprehensive zoning process, I have sided with residents when development is proposed that will harm the overall quality of life. My decisions will be based on our general development plan and comments from the community." Of course, council meetings are held on the first and third Monday night of every month at 7 p.m., and you can watch them on Comcast Channel 98 and Verizon Channel 38.
Well, our own Mark Chang has brought us many firsts this year, and now he's going to give us a first look, that is, folks, at the Pasadena Christmas tree lighting, which is coming up this week. In this week's Community Spotlight, Mark talks with the organizers of the event. Mark.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. I'm over here at the Glen Burnie Town Center in downtown Glen Burnie. It's a little dreary out here, but I'll tell you, the holiday spirits are not dampened. And the folks in Glen Burnie have a lot of holiday festivities coming up. And first of all, I'd like to start off with Brenda Kelly, who's with the Glen Burnie Improvement Association. And Brenda, could you tell the folks out there about the Glen Burnie Improvement Association's tree lighting?
Sure. Our tree lighting is December 2nd, which is a Friday night. Starts at 7 o'clock. We have refreshments. Santa will be coming to surprise the children. We have cookies, hot chocolate, and cider from Brewster's. And we also have crafts for the kids, and there'll be a session to write letters to Santa.
Great. And my understanding is the kids can write their letters to Santa and drop it off at the Glen Burnie Improvement Association?
They can. We have a mailbox right in front of the building and 19 Crane Highway. And they can drop them off, write a letter, and they'll get a letter back because we send them right to the North Pole.
Wow, that is awesome. You know, I wrote a letter to Santa years ago, and I got a pretty bad response because I wasn't that good of a guy. But I'm changing, so hopefully my letter will get a good
one this year.
Okay, well, can you help me out with that, Brenda?
I'll try my best.
All right, thanks a lot, Brenda. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And I have Mrs. Pat Barlin, who's with the Office of Planning and Zoning for Anne Arundel County. She's also with the Town Center. And Pat, could you tell us about the Glen Burnie Town Center's tree lighting?
I'd love to, Mark. We're really excited. We have it every year, and it's always a wonderful event. It's going to be Tuesday, December 6th this year, and we'll have pre-entertainment before the actual lighting. The county executive will be here to throw the switch, and we're really looking forward to a wonderful evening. I know you have some entertainment, and you'll probably tell us about that too.
Yeah, I sure do, Pat. I'll tell you, there's a lot of great entertainers coming out. Glen Burnie High School's coming out, the Anne Arundel Community College small jazz ensembles coming out. We got the Abundant Life Church coming out. We got this blues duo, John Papa John, what a name, and Robin Chatterton coming out. So it's going to be a lot of great entertainment. And a thank you so much for all the help that you've helped me out with the past 5 years now on this tree lighting. You have really followed your guidance. But I'll tell you what, speaking of over the past years and with the holidays coming up and nostalgia, I understand you have a letter that was written back in November 2000 from Mr. Henry Hine, who is an institution in this Glen Burnie community and really a driving force behind the town center. Would you mind sharing that letter with the viewers, please, if you don't mind?
I'd love to, Mark. Thanks for the opportunity. As you know, this plaza was named for Henry, and he wrote me a short note just before Christmas in 2000, as you say. And he writes, "Last Saturday evening, November 18th, Carolyn and I walked down to Glen Burnie Town Center. It was mainly to see if the new skating rink had opened. Not only had it opened, but many skaters were enjoying the evening on the ice. Adding to the wonderful sight were the Christmas lights at Rotary Park." He says, "Having wanted to see Glen Burnie as a place it once was to attract people, and now they're returning again, is indeed a wonderful experience. My being a part of it is a lifetime satisfaction. If I sound proud and impressed, I am. Sincerely, Henry Hine."
Thank you very much, Pat. I really appreciate it. I know it really warmed my heart hearing that, and I know that Mr. Hine was a backbone in this community, and we appreciate all he did. And so thank you for reading that. And also have Mike Livingston, who's with the Bank of Glen Burnie, president of Bank of Glen Burnie, I'm sorry, and also the chairman of the Glen Burnie Town Center. And Mike, I know that you're all about small businesses and helping this town center and helping the small businesses in this community. Could you tell the viewers out there how they can help this town center now and in the rest of the year?
Well, this is a great time of year, obviously, but all times in this year are great to be at the town center. We have summer concerts going on. We have shops, if you look around you, a great place just to walk around. And coming up in the holidays, we have that great event, the tree lighting you're talking about, and maybe Santa Claus will come check on you, Mark, and see if you are behaving much better. But it is a great place to be. I say to everybody, no matter what time of year, it's a great place just to walk around and shop locally at the local shops. It's a great place to be. Thank you for asking.
Thanks a lot, Mike, and thanks for all the work you do in this community. And I know that not just the town center, but a lot of extra community things you do outside of your role at the Bank of Glen Burnie. So thank you. Thank you. And also we have Georgette Shahoop and also Mal. And you're with Recreation and Parks, and you're with the operations of the ice rink. First of all, start with ladies first. Georgette, could you tell the viewers out there, my understanding is that they're at the tree lighting for the town center, there's also going to be some ice skaters. Tell us about that.
Right, we're going to do a Peter Pan extravaganza at 5:30, and Wendy will be there, Peter Pan, and a bunch of pirates. And we're going to also have a demonstration after the tree lighting, and we'll open the rink up for anybody who wants to skate after the tree lighting.
Great. And for viewers out there who want to get more information about Recreation Parks, the programs they have out there, what's the number they can reach Recreation Parks at?
You can always find us online, and our phone number is 410-222-7300.
Okay, and we also have Mal. And Mal, could you tell us about the operations of the center? When's it open? Do I have to be a good skater? You know, the whole 9 yards.
Well, you certainly don't have to be a good skater. We opened around Halloween. We will close in mid-March. We rent skates, and I brought a couple out here that are really special. This is our largest, and it's a size men's 15. And this is the one that really grabs all the little children. It's a double-bladed booted skate, size 8 to 13. And the kids can skate in this, 2 years old, 3 years old, which means they can join their big brothers and sisters and mom and dad and not have to sit on the sidelines and watch. The rink is open every day to the public, from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. during the week, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturdays, and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sundays. Come any hour on the hour and skate for 2 hours. We have a website, Glen Burnie Ice Skating. You can visit that for special events or whatever. So lessons are through the Parks and Recs. You will register online. And they're on Tuesday night, 4 sessions, $58, and an hour of practice afterwards, or Saturday mornings at 9 or 9:30, and again, an hour's practice after your lessons.
Okay, well, great. Thanks a lot, Mal. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be getting my skate shined up. I think I'm going to need a remedial class on it, so I might take you up on those lessons. But I appreciate it, and thanks for all you do out here with the town center and the ice rink. And we also have Fran Schmidt, who's a regular on the show, and could you tell the viewers out there about the holiday party that the Chamber is hosting?
We are. After we do all this ice skating and we go to these tree lightings, we need a little time to relax and get to know each other. So the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce is hosting their holiday party. It's going to be on December the 13th. We're going to hold it at Holy Trinity Hall, which, as you know, is right across the street from our chamber building. And we're fortunate because our chamber building is just 1 block away from this great town center. So we invite the public and everyone to come out and enjoy our holiday party with us. You can get information on our website, or you can call the chamber office at 410-766-8282.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Fran. Let's all gather around, show a little holiday spirit here. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of great organizers out here and that are preparing for the holiday festivities. And one of the groups that couldn't make it out here today but was out on the show earlier was a couple weeks ago was Take Back Our Streets, a great organization in Glen Burnie that helps the folks out, the needy folks up in the northern part of the county. And we really appreciate all they do. And that event's going to be on Wednesday, December 7th, over at Michael's 8th Avenue. And like I said, I know there's a lot of holiday festivities going on. You might not be able to write it all down, but I'll tell you what, give me a call at 410-222-1242 if you want more information. Our office deals with these organizations on a daily basis, and we appreciate all the work you all do. And I guess we're going to do a little Rockettes dance here. Okay, ready to the left? All right, go. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, that's it from the Glen Burnie Town Center. Happy holidays, and back to you in the studio. Happy holidays. Woo!
Thanks, Mark. I was out at the event last year, and boy, was it cold, but I had a great time, and everyone out there had a great time. Be sure to bring your mittens and stay warm out there, folks. Even put on a Santa hat, maybe.
Well, in this week's Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,338 calls for service. This included more than 1,051 emergency medical calls and 114 fire calls. Smoke could be seen for miles as a fire ripped through a North County home, injuring 1 occupant in the home and 3 firefighters who responded. With us now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Carla. On Sunday, November 27, 2011, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported dwelling fire located in the 800 block of Riverside Drive in the Pasadena area of the county. The first unit to arrive on the scene reported fire and smoke coming from the rear and roof areas of a 1-story single-family dwelling. There was also a report of 1 person trapped in the dwelling. At that time, additional resources were requested, and the search and rescue operations as well as an interior fire tech was initiated. Crews operating on the interior of the dwelling quickly located the injured and trapped occupant and pulled her from the smoke-filled building. In all, it took more than 60 firefighters about an hour to bring the 2-alarm incident under control. Fire department personnel remained on the scene for more than 3 hours conducting salvage and overhaul operations. There were 4 injuries total as a result of the incident. The occupant of the home, a 68-year-old female, suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. She was transported to Baltimore Washington Medical Center in Glen Burnie, Priority 2, via ground ambulance for possible smoke inhalation. 2 firefighters involved in the rescue of the trapped occupant were also transported to Baltimore Washington Medical Center to be evaluated for smoke inhalation. In addition, a 3rd firefighter operating at the scene was also taken to the hospital after suffering a medical emergency at the scene. Carla?
Thanks, Chief. Officials advised that the fire caused damages in excess of $150,000. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. All 3 firefighters were treated and released after being evaluated at the hospital.
Well, folks, we had a little snafu last week with our Recreation and Parks report, but we'll get it right this week. Let's hear from the guy who never makes mistakes. I'm talking about our own Franklin Cheney on how you can have a say in the future plans of Recreation and Parks amenities in Anne Arundel County. Franklin.
Thanks. For this week's Recreation and Parks report, I'm here with Parks Administrator Mark Garrity. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Franklin.
The department just took on a big action where the land preservation, parks and recreation plan has been starting to be developed. And we recently had 4 meetings out in the public, and now we're taking the next step, but also still hearing from the public. Mark, tell us about the plan and where we are with this.
Well, thank you, Franklin. Yes, the LIPRP, as we like to call it, is a long-range planning document that's county-wide, that's based on agricultural land preservation, park facility development, and natural resource protection are the 3 main elements of that plan. This is a 6-year plan that will help us with our capital improvement program over the next 15 years. It is one of our guiding documents to help us in our plans for how we're going to expand both land preservation and recreational facilities, as well as any future projects we may be looking to get started.
Now, I happened to be able to go to a couple of the meetings. We had 4 public meetings, very well attended, and you saw the excitement with the citizens to give the opportunity to talk. What were some of the things that they said at these meetings?
Well, the public had a wide variety of topics they wanted to share with us. Land preservation is always first, and we are very proud of our land preservation initiatives. Since County Executive Lebo took office, we have moved to preserve over 3,000 acres in the realm of land preservation. But also facility needs was a high topic with the community. Enhancing our existing facilities, such as putting lights in some of our parks to extend the hours of play, irrigation systems to improve the quality of the playing surfaces so the kids will have a safer surface to play on, as well as water access. So we continue to work to strive to improve the ability for the county to get access to the waterways through our car top boat launch program right now, and then the future boat ramp at Fort Smallwood Park.
Now, if our citizens weren't able to make it out to one of the meetings, to the public meetings, they still now have an opportunity to let us know what they think, how they go about doing that.
They can go to our website, www.aacounty.org/recparks. And if they scroll down, there's a comment sheet where they can definitely share their comments with us.
All right, good. Now, we're going to gather all these comments together. I know Ken Albin from our office does a fantastic job. He'll work with the company that we hired, and they'll gather all that information. How does that all work from there?
Yes, that's correct. Once everyone has given all their input, the company is a local Anne Arundel company called ERM Management. Very good to work with. They will compile a report that our department will review. We will send forward to the state for review, and this is all in the draft, and then we'll come back and it will go to the Planning Advisory Board and then ultimately to the County Council for adoption.
All right, now, so again, the citizens have an opportunity to, if they have any comments, and that's for the next 2 months, and then you take it to the other places from there, correct?
That's correct.
All right, now, so this is a fantastic opportunity for citizens to speak their voice. And again, what's the title of this plan?
It's the Land Preservation Parks and Recreation Plan.
All right, well, I appreciate you, Mark, talking about it today. Guys in the studio, this is a lot of work from our departments going into this, a lot of thought process, still in the development of stages. Encourage the citizens to be a part of it well. So for Franklin Cheney reporting for Week in Review, guys, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Franklin. We're glad you're out there helping chart the course for our future of recreation and parks.
Well, in our next installment of the Community Spotlight, we go to historic Crownsville and a house that is clearly a benefit to the community. Bea Poulin is joined by Ellen Thornson of Daughters of the American Revolution. Bea?
Well, hello there. I'm in Crownsville today at the site of the Rising Sun Inn, the home of the Anne Arundel or Anne Arundel chapter of the DAR. And I'm here with Ellen Thornson to talk about the chapter's 100th birthday, celebrated in November, and about this beautiful Rising Sun Inn. Ellen, thanks so much for having me here today. It's a lovely place.
Well, thank you for coming. We always like to show it off.
Well, it's a remarkable building, and I know many people probably drive by here all the time. It's on General's Highway.
Correct.
And they don't know what it is.
No, they don't. They go by it every day and say, we never knew you were there.
So tell us about this 100th birthday and celebrating in this building.
Well, the chapter, of course, was formed earlier than we obtained the chapter house. We got the chapter house in 1916. Okay. But ladies who lived in Anne Arundel County who were farmers and post office postmistresses decided to join together. They were descendants of the Baldwins, many of them, and formed up the chapter on November the 13th, 1911. So on November the 13th, 2011, we had our 100th anniversary.
You know, that's quite an achievement. To think about an organization that's been involved for 100 years, sustaining itself, bringing in new members, and then having this building within just a few years of forming a chapter to take it on as a challenge. How do you do it?
Well, it takes a lot of work. One of the things that the chapter members do at the beginning of each year when we pay our dues is they make a small donation to Friends of the Rising Sun Inn, and that helps us to pay some of the bills. We have also had a lot of help from the Maryland Historical Trust, which is one of the ways that we can get funds to do serious repair work, such as the basement wall downstairs. Part of our foundation was in trouble because of moisture. So thanks to them, we're still in business.
That's not an uncommon problem in our county. But for this building to be here for so long, it was built in 1753, and to be sustained over the years, families took care of it. It was a business, it was an inn. And if we look around this building, we see many wonderful artifacts and the fireplaces and the floors, and it's a marvel that it's in such great shape.
And yes, it is, because when we got it, it had been used for many years as a grain storage place.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a little rough. I have a picture out there in the hall which shows what it looked like at that point. But we had this flooring in here is the original floor, and
Beautiful white plank floors.
Yeah, beautiful floors. And then the other floors came from old barns and other old buildings, which we had to, put over to repair. But the ladies took out at the time, which was a lot of money for them, $5,000 in a loan. And through various and sundry fundraisers, such as playing cards and serving suppers to the people who lived in Sherwood Forest and that sort of thing, they raised enough money to pay that loan back and burn the papers at the end.
So it has now been placed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Right.
It's well known in Annapolis, but for people who are new to Anne Arundel County, this is open every second Sunday of the month.
Correct.
And the last Sunday for this month, or for December, the last Sunday of the year, will be December 11th?
Correct, at 1 to 4.
Okay. So families can come in and see this beautiful old building, and if you're in the neighborhood, they should stop by.
Absolutely. We have volunteer docents, and I will be here on that Sunday.
Okay.
But if we have enough docents, we have several in each area of the building and can take you through that way. Or if we just have one or two, we make do.
Okay. And how many rooms would they be able to look at?
Well, they'd be able to look at this room and the two dining rooms. One's a dining room, one used to be a living room. And then they would be able to enjoy our museum on, I hate to say basement, but lower level. Does that make sense?
It's a great looking basement.
Yeah. But we have a lot of interesting things down there.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to the chapter. The chapter was formed 100 years ago.
Right.
And how many members do you have now?
We have 109 as of last count.
And the age range?
Oh, everywhere from about 20 to late 80s, early 90s.
That's a great age range, and it's an interesting chapter to belong to. Now, in order to belong to a Daughters of the American Revolution chapter, what are the criteria?
Well, you have to have an ancestor who either fought or gave some kind of goods during the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
And be able to document that through land records or birth certificates in more recent years, census records, that sort of thing.
Genealogy research.
Absolutely.
It's basic to this.
Basic, yeah. But we have people who will help. If you're a little afraid to do it by yourself, we've got people who will give you a hand.
But what kind of documents would you need to kind of gather from your family before it's too late and they're disappearing?
That's difficult. Because in many cases, everybody always knew that Uncle so-and-so did such and such in the war, but it's just been word of mouth. Sometimes they're very lucky because some of their more recent ancestors already joined the DAR. I had a great aunt who had joined, and I knew the name of my ancestor, and I was able to use her papers to go back. I had to do the birth certificate, death certificate, marriage license routine back to her, but from there on, over at national headquarters, they have a record of who's been and who hasn't.
And that's at DAR Hall,
Constitution Hall.
Ave-
Yeah. Memorial Continental Hall and Constitution Hall.
In Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and they have a wonderful research library and excellent librarians who will help you if you have issues.
I know, we're very lucky to live in this area. If you're interested in joining the DAR, the Constitution Hall in D.C. is a great resource. Every chapter in the state also is a great resource. And I'd just like to point out that if you want to learn more about the DAR or the Rising Sun Inn, you can go to the website, which is?
Well, if they just type in NSDAR, they will come up with the DAR website, and within that you can find the different chapters and the different states. First you would find the state, and then you would find the chapters in the state.
Okay. So if they want to join your chapter and help with this wonderful home, this inn, the Rising Sun Inn, who can they contact?
They can contact me. My email address is on our local website, but it's EllenELLANWT@AOL.com.
Okay, and we'll repeat that on our website for anyone who's interested in becoming a member of the Anne Arundel, or Arundel, is the old way of saying it, chapter of the DAR, the Daughters of the American Revolution. And if you'd like to visit the Rising Sun Inn, the next Sunday it's open is December 11th from 1 to 4, and it's at 1090 Generals Highway in Crownsville. Thank you, Ellen, so much for letting me come out and see this today. I really enjoyed it. And perhaps I'll be one of your applicants in the near future, as my family's a DAR member out in the Midwest.
Well, we'd love to have you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, B.
Well, did you make it out alive? Black Friday?
Yes.
I tell you, it was unbelievable.
Did you actually go?
Heck no.
Well, how do you know it was unbelievable?
Because I listened
You
to
read
all
the
the
news.
stories.
There were some crazy stories.
I like to go out and see the people, and the people tell me about what's going on out there. I mean, I heard a story of Kohl's. Apparently, there were people lined up at the front door, a massive amount of people lined up to get into Kohl's. And then there was a side door that they normally use, but a big sign was on there saying employee entrance, employees only.
Go through the front.
People lined up there anyway, and then when they told them, no, you can't line up there.
They were not happy.
They weren't happy.
They lost their place in
They
line.
said, we got the fire marshal on speed dial. We're going to call the fire marshal. You can't do that. I mean, this is just nuts, folks.
Yeah.
You're getting $1 off of something.
Right.
Just relax.
Okay, it's more than $1.
All right, more than
seriously.
$1.
No, yeah, I did make it out, but I made it out later on in the morning. I didn't do any crazy early morning shopping or anything like that. So everyone had settled down by then. But it's become kind of a dangerous sport, Black Friday shopping.
It is.
You hear these news stories from around the country about people pepper spraying each other and just to get a better place in line for an Xbox.
$1. You're going to save $1 on an Xbox.
More than $1.
Well, I say it's $1. You know, I go out on Red Friday. I go shopping on Red Friday.
What is Red Friday?
Well, it's the Friday before Christmas. It's when all the guys go out shopping. We go out. I'm going to name that. Nobody take that. If somebody's already taken it, I'm sorry. I'm copyright infringement or something. But Red Friday. It's the guys' shopping day, the Friday before Christmas.
Well, a lot of things are on sale then.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, $2 off then. We got some sports today to talk about, Carla. Good day, sports fans. Well, the winter has turned cold and winter sports are about to begin. Taking a look at this year's basketball outlook, all signs point to another strong season from the traditional powerhouse squads of Annapolis and Broadneck. Broadneck, who went 21-4 last season, gets Darnell Solomon and Brady George off the football fields and onto the basketball courts to try to recapture another county title. Annapolis will return forward Brad Reed, and watch out for the guys coaches have been talking about all season. I'm talking about sophomore guard Juan Brown, who's very quick and hopes to help Annapolis improve on the 19-5 record from last season. This year, 6 first-year head coaches could change the dynamics of county basketball. 2 of those new skippers are looking to help Northeast and Chesapeake improve on their last season frustrations. The season tips off next week, so stay tuned each week to Week in Review for all the highlights and action from around county basketball. Well, a great story about a former Braultneck High School grad, Matt Centerwitz. Centerwitz broke nearly every county record and a few state records in track and field while he was a member of the Bruins squad 3 years ago. After spending 3 years in the Pac-10 at the University of Oregon, Matthew has decided to go pro as a distance runner and signed with Pace Sports. We wish him well and look forward to seeing him compete in track and field events all around the globe. And folks, finally today, we're bringing it back for you. It's time to play a game, Carla, for all ages. Anybody loves this game. Do you know what the game is?
I don't. What's the game?
Mr. Producer, key the music. That's right, folks. It's the mascot match game. Those furry little creatures that you see out there every weekend, Carla, every weeknight cheering for those teams. That's why kids go to games. They go to
go see the mascots.
The mascots. It's the mascot match game.
For me, when I was little, it was to get some hot chocolate and eat a hot dog.
Not to see the mascots? Not to see these guys run around and fall down and make fools of themselves out there?
I guess that's always fun.
It's entertainment.
Especially if they're from the opposing team.
That's right. But here's what we do, folks.
Okay.
We put 5 mascots on the screen behind us.
All right.
And our own Carla Schaefer has to guess what the mascot, what team does this mascot play for? All right, we're going to start
So I don't have to know the name of the mascot.
You don't have to know the name of the
from.
mascot. I'd like you to know the name of the mascot, but if you don't, that's okay. Just tell me where they're from. So we're going to go. The first one. First one's on the screen.
I think I know this guy.
On the screen.
I don't know his name, but does he play for the, or does he play? Is
He
he a
doesn't
mascot for the Atlanta Braves?
You got it. The Atlanta Braves mascot. Look
What's
at
his
this
name?
guy. Well, it's Mr. Baseball, but he's got a head. His head is about as round as my
It is.
head, and you know,
And it looks like a
Roll
baseball.
down Turner Field. It's nice. It's great. It's great. All right. Mascot number 2. This guy is a little tricky. He's tricky, but you can find him out there on the football field. I'll give you a hint there, Carla. And if you know his name, I'll give you a bonus point.
I don't know his name, but Kansas City?
Very good. Kansas City what, though? Kansas City what? You got to give me the name of the football team.
To give you the name of the team.
That's the city. I need the name of the team. Would you like to phone a friend? Would you like to ask the audience?
If only I had my cell phone on me. Audience? No one's responding.
No one's telling you.
All right,
No one's telling you. The Kansas City Chiefs. I'll give you half a point. That's the wolf. He's the wolf out there. He takes care of business. He doesn't let the opposing team in the end zone. Okay, this friendly fellow, he likes to skate around on the ice.
I know about this one.
You know about this one.
I grew up in a cold state. We like hockey.
Yeah.
That's the Pittsburgh Penguin.
That is the Pittsburgh Penguin, the Pittsburgh Penguins mascot. And they're playing some good hockey this year, Carla. They are really doing well. They got Sidney Crosby back and putting a lot of people in the stands helping the NHL.
Yeah.
Okay, these cuddly little furry friends can be seen on Saturdays down in the Deep South.
A lot of people have bulldogs as mascots, but this one is the Georgia Bulldog.
This is the Georgia Bulldog, the wonderful Georgia Bulldog. And last but not least,
I know this one.
This is a special one for you, Carla. I picked this one out. I picked this one out just because I thought you would really appreciate this last mascot.
Well, I have to say that I've known this mascot probably since birth. That's Sparty, the Michigan State Spartan.
That's right, Michigan
I even
State.
knew his name.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, 4.5 out of 5.
That's right.
Only
Yeah,
you knew
partial
Kansas
credit
City
counts.
Chiefs. I give you partial
Partial
credit for that. Well, that's it. You did great. That's
I
the
thought you were going to
mascot
have
match
some
game.
really obscure things like the banana slugs or...
This is your first mascot match game.
Okay. It
They
gets
get
progressively harder.
They get harder.
as
And
we
you
go on.
folks, you can play along with us. Check us out on Week in Review Facebook page. We'll put up your score. Tell us how many mascots you got right this week in the mascot match game. And we'll come up with some new stuff.
Okay.
You know, it's always good. Maybe, can you guess who the baby belongs to? We'll play that next week. Doesn't sound like sports though, does it?
No.
Well, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes. Please tune in again next week for more highlights, news, and maybe some more mascots from around your county. We'll see you next time.